do our part. If we see something, to say something. Anyway, we have to move on from the story. Let's do one last story. I'm going to play a video for everybody. Freeman, have you heard of a covenant marriage?
Like in the Bible?
Yeah, kind of in the Bible.
Sounds familiar.
So if you're listening, I am so excited for you to listen to this clip that I'm going to play. Before we start,
juicy, you guys.
Very juicy. Before we start, you can pause and think to yourself, when you hear covenant marriage, what do you think? When I first heard covenant marriage, it was, so I'm going to play a clip from Inside Edition. Oh, I wonder if they will, well, whatever, it's not. I was going to say if they would copyright us. They probably won't. And if, no, they won't. Because I'm going to play the full clip. I wonder, you know, when I first heard I saw the segment, I was like, covenant marriage, wow, I'm excited to hear about what a covenant marriage is. I wonder if they, like, you know,
especially like from a secular perspective. Like, it's not like this is christianweekly.com.
Right.
It's like Inside Edition.
Right.
Saying, what is a covenant marriage? Well, what do they think it is?
Right. So I was like, so in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe they like drink each other's blood, because they're saying it's a step further than marriage. So I thought maybe you drink each other's blood and then you, like, you know, bathe together. I don't know. I'm like, covenant marriage.
Oh,
like,
God.
It's going to be this big thing. So I'm excited to see the segment. Listen to what a covenant marriage is, everyone. Here we go.
Divorce does happen every 36 seconds here in America. The new House Speaker says he and his wife have an agreement which makes it much harder to split. Les Trent says it's called a covenant marriage.
Not many of us know a heck of a lot about the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. But before he was elected to Congress, before he became the second in line to the presidency, he appeared on national TV to talk about his unconventional marriage. On October 15th, 2001, Johnson and his wife Kelly were interviewed by then GMA host Diane Sawyer.
Willing to make that kind of lifetime commitment to me just gave me such stability, and I just knew that it was the right thing to do.
Johnson and his wife revealed they were in a so-called covenant marriage. So what's a covenant marriage? It means when the bride and groom tie the knot, they take it a step further than a conventional marriage. It's a commitment to stay married literally until death do them part. That means shutting the door on any possibility of divorce unless in extreme cases such as when physical abuse, adultery, or abandonment are involved. The Johnsons signed a covenant marriage contract like this, showing they fully...
Okay, so I'm not going to put the whole segment, but that's the gist of it. When I first, I like burst out laughing. I was like, wait, are you talking about just like a regular marriage? How crazy has our world become? That this is listen, you guys,
this is an exception.
Right, like, listen to this new type of marriage. You don't ever divorce no matter what.
This new trend.
Right. And then when they were like, unless, I was like, okay, let me hear what the unless is. Physical abuse, adultery, and abandonment. Like, what? This is all, like, I could not stop laughing. I was like, this is a covenant marriage. This is a marriage. What?
This is literally marriage. This is like...
Literally. Well,
like,
I mean,
textbook Christian marriage.
Like, and it just goes to show like how far we've come from like Christian values, that this is so, oh my God, they're in a covenant marriage. Have you ever heard of such a thing? A covenant marriage? Like, crazy.
No, sometimes I just think like people don't have anything to cover. You know?
I mean,
I'm sorry. Like, I know there's like, I mean, you and I have experienced things that we don't know what to cover. So we're like, let's talk about this. Sure. Let's make this a thing. Like,
very fair. Very fair. That's true. Like, I was excited to see the segment because I was like, what is a covenant marriage? Interesting. Okay. And it's just literally just a marriage. But I mean, you know, realistically, there's people who think you can just divorce someone just because you don't get along anymore, or just because like you're no longer happy. And it's just that's not what we believe as Christians.
Right.
Physical abuse, abandonment, and adultery are the three things.
Hello.
Yeah. And it's all biblical. And it's just like, I showed my brother, and my brother was like, so wait, what are people getting divorces for then? And I was like, oh, young child, keep dating your
Oh,
sweet Christian
People
girls.
get divorces over like what furniture to
Right.
choose,
Right. Or yeah, people divorce over
which I have gotten in some fights about that, but not divorce level.
right. And like I think that it's so healthy and fine to argue and like disagree. Let me not
Mhm.
to disagree with your spouse. So this is
Mhm.
something that obviously I'm not married, but I have long-term friends. And something that I've
Okay.
learned with long-term friends,
Covenant friendship.
yeah, to have a good friendship is sometimes you're going to go through seasons where you're like not really meshing like you were. But you don't
Totally.
end it because of that. Like that's a big lesson I learned this year with one of my friends, one of my good friends. Freeman and I were talking about this offline, and like sometimes you go if you're going to be friends forever, you're not always going to agree on every single thing. That's just life.
For sure.
Even with
You
your
shouldn't.
siblings. Oh, say that again.
You shouldn't. Like, because at
Right.
some point it's like, are you being real? Are you being legit? Like, or are you just saying everything I'm saying?
And to piggyback off of that, that's something I learned in my last relationship. I remember we got in a fight over something. And so this is, for the context, this is someone who I thought I was going to marry. So we got in a fight over something. And I remember thinking, like, I really don't want to fight with him, whatever. And then I was thinking, well, I do want to be with him forever. So maybe I should tell him, like, this actually, like, really upset me that you said that. And, like, that,
Yeah.
I think that is just something, like, the difference between, you know, someone who you think is going to be in your life for a long time or someone who you think is going to be in your life temporarily. I think that when I was in college with some of my friends, that because, you know, in college, you just kind of have friends that you're, like, there's people who I was like, oh, you're my person. I love you so much. And, like, I haven't talked to them since I graduated. I still love them, have nothing against them. But, like, you know, there's just certain people in your life, they're just there for a season. So if someone's just going to be there for a season, then I know for myself personally, sometimes I just won't argue. I'll just be like, okay, fine, whatever. But like when you care about someone, you're going to have those disagreements. You have to work through them. You have to work through it. And I think, I guess, in the secular world, people are deciding not to work through them because they just don't want to, I guess, or like it's hard work. It's hard when you disagree with someone you actually care about and it's something serious. It's hard to talk about it.
Someone you love.
Yeah. And I know, like, insecurity I had with disagreeing, especially with guys that I'm dating, is like sometimes I know that I'm a lot. So sometimes I feel like if I disagree with someone, like I'm self-aware to know I'm a lot. And I think that sometimes if I disagree with someone, that'll just be too much for them. And that's an insecurity that I had.
Wow.
And just the way you said that, it was just funny. Anyway,
no, that makes me sad to think that you would ever think you're like a burden.
Well, I recognize that, like, my personality is
of course
not
it's
for
it's big. We
yeah.
both got big personalities.
Yeah. But anyway, my whole purpose of saying that is like that was an insecurity that I had, and you have to get over that when you're in a marriage, a long-term friendship. Like, you have to get over that, and you have to realize that, like, if the person is going to leave, if your friend no longer wants to be your friend because you guys disagree on something that was so big and like blah blah blah, and like that really wasn't your friend, because your friends stick with you. I believe in unconditional friendship love. I know not everybody does, but I do. So like even if we are mad at each other, like, oh, one of my friends, and then I guess we can wrap this story up. One of my friends, he's probably my bestest friend, male friend, my bestest male. Well, one of my bestest male friends. Anyway, we used to get in fights. I mean, we are both actually people, and when you get two actually people together,
Oscar Martinez.
Yeah, and we just would go at it. And our last big fight that we got at, I remember being so mad at him. I was like, oh, this is it. I'm never talking to him again. And another one of our friends was like saying, and I was like, no, I'm probably never going to come visit either. Like, I'm done. Like, this is it. And you know, obviously not. Like, I just remember it was a couple months later. There was something that happened. I really wanted to tell him because like it was something that we both liked and enjoyed. I remember going, I'm not going to tell him. And then I was like, no, I got to tell him. Let me tell you this really funny thing that happened. And that's just like life. That's just like how friendships are. And that's even how it could be within a marriage. Like, you can be so mad at someone, but you still stick with them. Yeah. So
no, I couldn't say it better. I think it's really funny that covenant marriage is this like have you heard of this trend, this
Right.
weird thing these like
Christians
far
are
right
doing.
wingers are doing?
Right.
Like, what?
Have you heard of this new thing Christian far right wingers are doing? Like, scary.
Yes, yes. But I guess like I mean, the way they presented it, it wasn't like, you know, they've decided they're gonna be stuck with each other. Like it was like they've, you know,
It's very factual.
it was factual, which is really like it's actually very refreshing to see a factual coverage of something that exists.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll link
Credit
it.
where
You
credit
guys-
is due.
Say that again.
I said credit where credit is due.
Yes. I'll link it so you guys can see it. And that's the show today. We had 3 really big stories, I guess, and then we chit-chatted, and that's the recap. I don't know why I recapped what we just did. You guys just listened to it. But if you enjoyed it and you're like, wow, I love the show, oh my gosh, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review. You can leave us a 5-star review on Apple, and you can also leave a review. And in the review, you can tell us that you really enjoyed the show, you think that it's funny, and you can't wait
You
to
like my new
listen.
haircut.
You love
anything.
Freeman's new haircut, anything like that.
And
really,
you love the square neck that Mallory has been doing.
Yes. Oh yes, square neck. I told you guys this is the look. I think I'm even wearing a square neck for my Friendsgiving today. I'm still not sure what I'm gonna wear, but I think one of my options is
It's
square
70 degrees. That would be perfect.
Oh, you think this? Does this look kind of summer though? It's white.
I mean, it's 70 degrees. That's what I'm saying.
So you think this will be cute to wear to friends?
Yeah, it's got orange in it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I
Florals,
will.
gold.
Maybe I will. Throw on a little bit of my American Woman Beauty eyeshadow. I have that. This lipstick I'm wearing, by the way, is American Woman Beauty. Love it, love it.
I'm waiting for a Crunchy. Crunchy has these like palettes that you can try of different like foundation colors. It's been out of stock for like 7 months.
And that's the one that Savannah.
Savannah. And if you guys have seen her, I will do anything to look remotely like her. I will buy any product. She is so cute, so adorable, so beautiful. Ugh.
And if you guys saw, she is engaged. She got engaged to her man. Happy for her.
And her and I are talking about doing an episode together on Classy Chicks in the next week or 2.
Ooh,
so
that's
stay
exciting.
tuned for that.
We'll obviously link that everywhere for you guys. But yeah, so anyway, leave us a review on Spotify. Let us know if I'll do the poll will be if you're team Ben, Candace, or anyone, or I'll say something wittier than that.
Or anyone.
Then in where it says leave a comment or whatever, I'll ask, tell me what you thought a covenant marriage was going to be. That'll be, yeah. And then if you're on Spotify. If you're on YouTube, I'll have these questions in there too. Comment below, let us know. And then if you're listening on any other platform that's not Apple, YouTube, or Spotify, just leave a comment there, and then let me know what platform, because they don't tell me, but it does, it's 14% don't listen on Apple or Spotify, so I don't know where else do people listen to podcasts. So let me know. And I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, night, evening. Oh, also let us know if you do not like it being on Mondays. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay. Have a great night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Have a great night, day, evening, however, wherever you're listening to. Bye.
Bye.